There is so much bad advice on the internet right now telling women that you can be completely in your feminine energy and be super successful, that all you have to do is manifest, think, and that it'll come to you. And while I do believe that for me personally, being in my feminine energy is the best for my nervous system, the best for everything else. When it comes to the work that I put in every day, it comes from a place of pure joy, but it is masculine, it is structured. So, I wanted to make a video today to talk about the marrying of the two energies in your life so that way you can actually achieve your goals. Because for me, the reason why I started my own business 2 years ago, now I'm in a place where I'm very financially stable. I'm happy with my money that I'm making and I feel like I can support myself, but I also feel like if I had kids, I could be there for them. It's what motivated me was that I wanted to be there for my kids, like when I have kids. But I also didn't want to stress about money. And I really do feel like the US right now, it is built on a two-parent household. So I wanted to be able to contribute to the household. Surprisingly, even with that attitude, my husband does very well, and I think he could support us if we needed to. But it's obviously better to always have that little extra income coming in, especially here. So it's about how how can you work but not burn yourself out? Because I'm sure that some of you guys watching this as well, even though you resonated with the opening sentence of like that feels like bad advice for it to be feminine, maybe you yourself, you're also operating from too much of the masculine, which is kind of where I tended to go, especially in my first 2 years in business, right? Because your back's against the wall, you got to figure out what you're capable of. But dang, is it stressful. I was working like 16-hour days. I was so burnt out. And although I was making money, it still wasn't the money that I wanted to be making. And that's not everyone, right? Like it was like my first 2 years in business. So it's obviously very, very difficult. But now that I'm in this place where I'm making even more money than that, I feel like I'm actually really able to be flexible with my life. And I've built great partnerships as well, great relationships. So I would just wanted to talk about some of the struggles that you might be facing and how I personally solve them. Because if you're watching this and you relate to what I said in the first 2 minutes, I was you. So I would love for you to be a little bit further along than where you are now and help people who used to be me. So yeah, let's just get into it. I have my laptop here just because I did make my notes and I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. I'm sure the more practice I get with YouTube, the better I will be. So bear with me. But number one is that money responds to structure, not just energy. When I first closed my 100K in sales, like my first 100K in sales, my first 100K contract, I was very disciplined for a 12-week period. If you've ever read The 12-Week Year, I love that book. I have my little video on it in another video on my channel if you want to check that out. But basically, I went to 3 networking events. No, I did 3 sales calls, 2 networking events, and 1 thing free for a client or a prospective client every week for 12 weeks. And I aimed to get a 75% and above. Structured, but not too much, right? I really broke down my goals and decided what I wanted. At this time as well, I had loaned a lot of money to someone last year, so I was trying to pay off my debt. So I also had goals around debt. If you want to achieve your goals, you can't just have it come to you. You need to have a plan on how you're going to execute that. But you would be surprised at how simple those actions are and probably how much time you're wasting doing things that aren't going to actually contribute to the goals that you want to achieve. So, number two, you actually do need both energies. I think you do need your feminine, but not for making money directly. You need it for how you live, how you relate, how you feel, and how you receive and enjoy your life. That is something where it's going to drive you and fill up your cup enough so that way you're able to pour into your masculine without crashing out on everyone. I think one of the things that people tell me that I am the most skilled at is A, relationships, and B, emotional regulation. Everyone else can be crashing out around me, and I am able to just take a step back and say, yep, that's theirs to handle. And that comes from good sleep, from rest, from enjoying my life, and from really enjoying the relationships and knowing why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. So the enjoyment of life kind of comes from the feminine energy, but the creation of money specifically comes from structure, consistency, and action. So if you are going to be the one who's making money, you need to be a little bit in your masculine for that. Number 3, the real goal isn't be feminine, and this is gonna be a big reframe for you girlies. It is not to be more feminine or more masculine. So the goal is to build a life that is integrated, where your work is structured, your income is stable, right? You are safe, and your nervous system actually feels calm. Like for me, it was a big nervous system thing. I really feel like I'm in a better position in every area of my life ever since I fixed my money problem. Now, this is kind of an interesting one for me because my parents have always been like my safety net, have always helped me in case anything really goes wrong. But there's something about like consistently making a lot of my own money that has solved a lot of my problems. Okay, number 4, your personal truth. And so this is what builds trust fast. So you need to tie in how you build relationships with your income. And I built a free resource around this because this is how I've made a majority of my money. My feminine flow, my feminine sort of proclivity to give and nurture and love relationships really has done me very, very well in business, as long as I was able to also tap into the masculine energy of sales. And the way I did that was I was able to, with integrity, be able to turn people away and determine actual best fit. I wouldn't convince someone of something unless I really thought it was best for them. And that really made a huge difference for me. And so I built a free resource. I will leave it down in the description link for those of you who want to know a little bit more about how I got into networking. It feels like I'm naturally social now. People tell me I'm so outgoing, but I think when I was like 20, definitely when I was in my teenage years, I didn't hang out with people very much. I was very introverted. But now I think I can go into both. Like I do enjoy my alone time. I love being quiet. I love spending time with like just me and my husband and no one else and not talking to anyone else. But I really do enjoy other people as well. And it's because I think I know how to navigate them, how to understand them, how to relate to them. And that's translated in me being able to bring in big business, but then also have amazing partnerships where I'm not number one. And this is like a little bonus tip that comes purely from experience. I love not being number one. I love not having my own vision. I love not having my own direction. I love stepping in to help and to add value. And to those of you who really have your own vision and all that sort of stuff, I have some of that in the creative sense where I'm like creating this content because I have like a vision, but it's a soft vision. When it comes to the things that actually generate income for me, I don't want to be the one who has to sacrifice all the time. And the sacrifice for that was sacrificing my vision and going under other people. So I have a few business partnerships that pay me really well, and I don't have to deal with the stress of being number one. So I'd really consider, if you're thinking about doing your own business, whether you really want to be number one or not. Like, please, please, please think about that. So back to our closing and reframe. It's not that feminine energy is wrong, like manifesting, thinking about what you really want, thinking about what aligns with you. I think that's all really important, but it's incomplete when you are talking about business or really any area of life if you can't also tap into the masculine energy of doing, of structure. Though the world doesn't work where you just receive all the time in every area of your life anymore, at least not in America, and not for everyone. I'm sure there are some people who just receive for the most part, but I don't even think we would enjoy as women not giving value. We enjoy reciprocation sort of thing. So it's definitely an incomplete thing. And if you want to create your own structure, your own safety, just to make sure that you're always going to be okay, you're not going to do things that you're not proud of, you're not going to do things that make you feel less respect for yourself, being able to create income for yourself is a huge win for that. And for that, you need to tap into your masculine energy enough for you to be able to relax in your feminine. So that's it for my video. I'll be back next week with, some more stuff along this lines of tapping into your feminine versus masculine energy, but really it's about avoiding burnout. It's about enjoying your life. It's about being happy. So if you're happy where you are, ignore all this advice if it didn't resonate with you. But for those of you who were like me and want to be a little bit more chill and a little bit of a better place, there's a resource down below. Thank you.